Okay, let's get going here. Hey, everybody. March 5th. Let's go. Left-hand page means left-hand prompt. Let's go with a 92. 92, touching melody. Right. Touching melody. What can we do with that? Certainly some sort of magical music. I'm trying if there's another way to take that. We could also be talking about some way of if there's an arcane sort of loom, or if there's like a sort of a magical constant in the world, maybe there's a musical one, so you could touch a melody. I also really like that part of it's actually one of the only moments that I like from Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange 2, was the one where they're like fighting with, and there's like actual like music in the air as like part of the magic. That was always so neat. The challenging thing with dabbling with anything musical is that I'm not like well versed in these things. So I need to usually anytime I touch like bardic magic or anything like this with instruments, I always have to do a bunch of research. Let me see if there's a way we can get there without needing to do that. What's up, Miss Girl? Welcome to the stream. Of course, of course. I mean, it's always warded magic. Could always be warding an area. Music as a protection versus music as an attack. Yeah, okay. What's up, Rex? Oh, I'm good. Can't complain. Kind of. Kind of. I need the beginning of a song, I think. The what's a like not a ballad? What's like a sad song? Something more somber. You know what I mean by that? Not like a hymn. That'd be too cleric or paladin like. Something that's you know, not a shanty, not a like I said, not a ballad, not something that would be loud and boisterous, but some sort of a somber song. Dirge, maybe dirge. Yeah, thanks. Trenton or Trentoon. Maybe dirge is the way to go. Let me see. Let me see. That was close. I think what I like dirge, but I'm gonna go with the synonym. Let's say requiem. I think that is gonna be slightly more. Okay, finally got there. But this will be good. I think this will be good. Sometimes the ones we have to work at a little bit more. The Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the blank. So we want the types of songs that magic would be attached to. And that the song titles are going to be Requiem of the blank. Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the... So, Stone Giant. Requiem of the Endless Night. Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem. Something fast. Let's see. So we have protection, we have darkness. Maybe something cunning. Could be a creature. Could do like an all-seeing eye, the hummingbird. Yeah, I like that. about Requiem of the Crossed Swords? How about Requiem of the Duel? That's what I'm trying to get at with that. Nice and simple. The Requiem of... There's so many great songs in Ocarina of Time. In fact, maybe I need to start playing some Zelda games on the weekends. They're such a great source of inspiration, even though I'm kind of in the Fallout mode right now. Could be Requiem, maybe of the... I like Storm, Flood, maybe Hurricane, maybe... Let's make it a Thunderstorm. What's up, Data? Requiem of the Twins. I like it. Let's do Requiem of the Twin Spirits. Musicians Guild is tough. Casting magic by humming the Requiem of the... We have... Wait, where do I have Hummingbird? Maybe something eye? Like the all-seeing eye, or the... other type of creature. Could do like Dragon's Eye or something like that. Requiem of the Feast. Okay. And then we'll do Dragon's Eye. Okay. What's up, WoW? Okay. Second list, so we have the Musicians Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the whatever. It became their official song after they blank. I think I'm gonna say chosen song, maybe song of choice. I can change that. Became their chosen song. That's better than official. So now, forget the entire list on the left. This list is what are the types of events that would basically result in people making songs about them. So this Musicians Guild either witnessed or experienced something, and they had to write a song about that event. But again, don't think about the list on the left. That's not important. So, let's say that they saw, like, they slayed a beast. That, let's say they saw the bridge fall. What did they, after they... The Great Bridge, the Kingdom's Bridge collapse. What's up, D? Take a sip. Yeah, this stream is about 45 minutes long. So the idea is that we basically write a couple of encounter tables into these few short lines, and it's sort of a exercise in sort of improv and ideation, like stuff that we can come up with and see where it takes us. And honestly, most of the time we get really fun ideas that can work for D&D or, you know, D&D related tabletop games. I know. Slay the beast, solve the riddle. Restart my stream deck as being very slow. Too slow to be useful. So maybe they slayed the undead horde. I could go for that. There is no riddle. So the Musicians Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Stone Giant, the Requiem of the Endless Night, the Requiem of the Hummingbird. It became their chosen song after they saw the Kingdom's Bridge collapse after they slayed the undead horde. Yeah, so Sip, we're making two D8 tables, then we're going to roll on them with some of these dice. So the left-hand sentence goes with the left-hand table on the screen there, and then the right-hand one we're still filling out. And the idea is that we roll on basically the two statements and we create some sort of encounter or a plot device or quest line. It really, in this case, it's probably going to be some lore around this like guild and the world that, and we just kind of see what we come up with. That's all. So right now, the list on the right is basically events that might lead a musician's guild to write a song. So seeing the Kingdom's Bridge collapse, slaying the undead horde, them doing that, they'd certainly write about that. Maybe they, after they peaked or they saw the old gods or something like that after they summoned a great demon. Sure. Absolutely. Musician's Guild is tough. Casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Duel, of the Thunderstorm, the Requiem of the Twin Spirits. And it became their chosen song after they saw the kingdom's bridge collapse, slayed the undead horde, summoned a great demon. How about after they were betrayed? I think somebody said this. Sort of after they were betrayed by the king. Why not? By the crown. I'm gonna say the crown. So the bridge collapsed. They slayed monster. They summoned a monster. They were betrayed. It created a flesh abomination. I don't mind that. Could be some sort of ritual. Hey, toothpaste. Already to the second one. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Hey, Billy Goat. After they won the Battle of the Bands. That would probably do it, huh? The Musicians Guild would certainly write a song about the time that they did that. How about after they survived at sea? Survived. Yeah, after they survived at sea. Let's say that. Hey, cool kid. Swindled the great evil sorcerer. How about after they tricked the sorcerer? How about after they tricked the evil sorcerer? Completed their pilgrimage. Definitely some sort of cool kid. An encounter can be anything. An encounter is a very, very broad thing. You could call it like an experience. It's really just anything that you do at the table. That can be considered an encounter. And wherever you want to draw the beginning and the ending, typically it's going to be something that can happen entirely within one session. So in other words, you might have one session, meaning you're sitting down at the table, that has 3 or 4 encounters that take place during that session, and then multiple sessions altogether make up an adventure arc, and maybe 1 or 2 or however many adventure arcs make up, a campaign. Obviously, we're using daily encounter in this context is very, very loose. It's just that's our jumping pad to wherever we end up. Like in this case, the ideas have taken us to whatever this is going to be. How about they discovered the last relic? I'll paint a miniature tonight on stream in about 5 hours. What data said? And I do have one of these. Wait. Just slaying 7 dragons. How about closing the portal? Okay, I think this one will be interesting. I haven't done one like this in a while. So now we're going to roll on these and see what we have to make up to close the gap. So a 5 and a 3. That's going to give us the Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Thunderstorm. It became their chosen song after they summoned a great demon. So this feels like probably an evil musician's guild, right? And the Thunderstorm. So now these musicians they could be pirates. They could just be, maybe they. I could even imagine they sort of can breathe air and water, and so maybe it's like down Zelda on the brain. They're what are the fish people called? Like it's a band like that. And the Thunderstorm and the Great Demon, like they sort of draw on that magic as a protective sort of ward. Zora, thank you. And so now we have these musicians who either live on the sea or near the sea, and you've got to be careful because this hum, you can't even tell necessarily that they're casting magic, but they're drawing on this thunder demon's power all the time. 3 and a 1. Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Hummingbird. Became their chosen song after they saw the kingdom's bridge collapse. So I feel like it would be neat if by writing music you could, hey Biased, if writing a song about an event, like if part of the musicians or the artist's magic was to almost sort of photocopy that, whatever they saw, like if they can represent the world around them in their art, they can capture some piece of that. And what if these this musicians guild, when they saw the kingdom's bridge collapse, what if it was some sort of a, they could only relate it to the flap of a hummingbird's wings? What if it sort of stuttered away? And who knows exactly what that event was, but what they copied, what they captured with their Requiem of a Hummingbird is that now they're just damn difficult to catch, or maybe even to sneak up on, because they sort of, it's like that, there's a couple different creatures in D&D that do it, where it just seems like they're in 2 or 3 places at once. Like you can't quite be absolutely sure where they are, especially in low light. But I love the idea of relating it to this like catastrophe that happened that probably isn't even explained, but they've related to it in this sort of like, you know, with this kind of photocopy of the magic. That too, Sip, absolutely. All right. 1 and 6. Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Stone Giant. Became their chosen song after they tricked the evil sorcerer. I mean, it could be something as simple as it was with the help of stone giants that it's like, oh, you know. I don't really understand your question, cool kid. That's why I didn't get to it before. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe find another way to phrase it, because I'm not sure I track what you're asking. So I imagine these artists, these musicians, the outsmarting of the sorcerer is like, yeah, oh yeah, he's up in his tower, right? The evil sorcerer. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna face him? Well, where's the tower located? The tower's in the mountains, right? So we worked with the stone giants and we tore the mountain down. Turns out the tower came with it. Gotcha. Okay, so my campaigns that I run, I have 3 right now. One is short. The other 2 have been like 5-year-long campaigns. I write them as I go, so I don't really have a pre-made book that I'm like going through. I just sort of I have vague ideas and outlines of where I think things are going to go, but I write the game session by session. Not unlike what we do here, right? It's improv, saying, well, let's take this idea and that idea, and ooh, you know, here's where it ends up. It's changing all the time, which I really like. 2 and 4. Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Endless Night. Became their chosen song after they were betrayed by the crown. So it seems like this is a musician's guild with a darker edge, right? They were, in betraying the crown, they probably were entrusted by, like, they saw something they shouldn't have seen, and then one night the crown has them all executed. So this Requiem of the Endless Night keeps them in that mindset and offers some sort of protection. Maybe while they're humming that song, all of the other members of the guild are like aware. Maybe it becomes like a hive mind. Like that's how they could have saved each other that night if they'd all had some sort of protective ward like that. So now it's like, we got to be really careful if we're going to deal with this guild, because how do we attack them? If we attack one of them, we attack all of them, right? They're a hive mind when they're using this music. Sip, how, or is this like a starting thing for like a campaign? Could be. It could be any of those things for sure. It's very, very loose. It's just a way of coming up with new ideas, brainstorming. I mean, if there's some idea that I've definitely found, I love that idea right there. Hey, Data, thanks for the $2. Appreciate it. The Musician's Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Twin Spirits. Became their chosen song after they discovered the last relic. Okay, so if it's twin spirits and it's the last relic, then maybe there are only a couple of relics, but finding the last one makes them realize that, gosh, what would they be? I don't think it matters what the relics are. But the twinning. The twin spirits and the last relic. For whatever reason, because of the twinning, it makes me think that the relic, like there's a mirror, like there's another, it's everyone's got a twin spirit. Maybe there's another version of reality, a mirrored plane that they can tap into. And as a result, they have access to those abilities or something like that. SIP, could we use this as side? Yeah, I think so. I think most of the stuff translates pretty well. It's most of the language we tend to use leans maybe 60% more on the fantasy side of things, but I think translating that to sci-fi isn't that big of a deal most of the time. And now I say that as somebody who has not run sci-fi, but I'm very familiar with, the ideas within it, so I wouldn't be afraid of translating. 7.5. The Musicians Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Great Feast. It became their chosen song after they survived at sea. Well, now that makes sense. Not because, obviously, they wouldn't be having a great feast at sea. They'd be starving at sea. But what if this particular guild was the feast at sea? What if they have... It's almost like a Lovecraftian nightmare. Like, they've come through a monster. Like, that's their, origin story for all of their abilities. I mean, what a great twist of that idea, right? It's like, oh, the Great Feast, that's lovely. Could you sing that at the royal party? It's like, well, I mean, you guys know what it's about. Do you pay attention to the lyrics? Because we were swallowed by a sea beast. Cool Kid, will I ever do streams of my campaigns in the future? Yes and no. There's definitely going to be streams that I run, or that I have showing me run the game, but it's not necessarily going to be in a campaign context. Uh, 6 and 5, I think, are useless. What do I need? 1, 2, 3. I've done most of them. 4 and 8 and 1 and 8. 4, 1, 8. Well, there's the 8, and there's the 4. Musicians Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Duel. Became their chosen song after they closed the portal. Got my tense wrong when I wrote it down, but Requiem of the Duel when they closed the portal. Well, certainly it would have to do with the fight that took place in order to close it. It would have been like a one-on-one. Maybe there was a particular hero that was able to duel the person responsible for that. And so as a result of that, the Requiem of the Duel, I mean, technically you can use digital dice if you want, Cool Kid. So, I mean, I would say 1 or 2 sets is probably plenty for most players. But I'm also not a dice goblin. I have my dice that I like that I use and I'm good, but some people like to collect them. Your mileage may vary. So what if Requiem of the Duel took I'm thinking of there's a fighter mechanic that allows, or no, more than that. I think there's a feat that allows you to require somebody to focus their attention on you if you strike them, or to draw attention away, and then they face a disadvantage if they don't attack you. Blah blah blah. What if they could literally isolate an attacker so that it's a duel, they're almost on another plane. It's like a black void, and it's the person who was attacked and the person who attacked them, and it's a duel right there, totally apart from everybody else. That would be an interesting twist on dealing with a guild enemy, or especially these musicians are sounding more like assassins as we go. Certainly some sort of threat. So it's yeah, we can face them, but just keep in mind, every person we hit, that becomes an isolated one-on-one duel that we can't escape from, or if we do, it's going to harm us terribly. So now you've got one combat situation that turns into 4 or 5, however many party members you have, into 4 or 5 isolated fights. That could be really interesting too. And the last one, the Musicians Guild is tough, casting magic by humming the Requiem of the Dragon's Eye. It became their chosen song after they, where is it? Slayed the undead horde. Dragon's Eye undead horde. So there must have been an undead dragon. And what if the breath or the eyesight, it's like a beholder's eye, what if it's the sight of the dragon itself that would raise the dead, right? So wherever the dragon looked, if there were dead, it would bring them back. And so that is the difficulty of that. It's like wherever it looks, there's more now of these sort of zombies or skeletons to fight. So when they defeated it and they took possession of the dragon's eye, maybe that's at the center of this guild. And so when they hum the requiem of it, ooh, man, I mean, they could either, I wonder how many of them are undead, right? Maybe this is an undead musicians guild where it's like, yeah, we don't know exactly what this thing does, but as long as they're humming this song, they're undefeatable, right? They can't be. It's like we have to. Now you've got a situation if we're like infiltrating this musicians guild, somebody's got to get in and basically, disable or take this relic, this dragon's eye that they have, because if they don't have that, their music, now they become vulnerable. Like it's a little video gamey, but that's not always a bad thing. Cool Kid, you can do either or. I do both. I have a little Photon Mono 3D printer, but I also will purchase minis if I find them. Doesn't bother me at all. That was really fun. I really like. We need to do more of these. I think the combination of some sort of guild or like faction ability that is tied to some sort of historical event becomes a really what's the word for it? It becomes a really compelling through line where it's like, well, now we're like kind of world building in a way, but it's like super useful because we're tying it directly to something that could define a dungeon, could define an area of the map. Like it could do all these interesting things, new abilities, new combat. Like that's a really strong one. Video gaming is the only way. I mean, it depends which DM you're talking to. Anyway. Thanks again. Hey, thanks, Billy Goat. Thanks, Otter, Construct, Cool Kid, Sip. Thanks for checking it out. Let's see. We'll drop links to the Discord in case anybody's not in there. Folks are talking about this kind of stuff and even making their own tables. There's a thread in the Discord. I need to make an intro video for the Discord. That's on the list too. And if you enjoy this, kind of up here, which I can zoom in on, my shop at shop.ryanandmdm.com is where you can get my zine. So they're sitting up there on my little zoom in. The yellow and orange books, they basically are this idea taken to the next level with a lot of ideas, useful stuff, monster and strange encounters that you can use in your games. Check them out if you like this kind of thing. But otherwise, we do this every day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes here in the afternoon, oftentimes at night when it's the only time I can slip it in. So hope to see you guys around. I'll be on tonight in a few hours to paint a Monster Mini. Tonight's a Monster Mini paint night. I don't have it on hand, otherwise I'd show you guys, but should be fun. Thanks, everybody, and we will catch you next time. See ya.